Hello, my name's Thomas. I'm a director in aftercare service, and today I want to talk to you about relationships. When I first started at my current employment, we went on an excursion to Darling Harbour. It was like my second day at the job, and we are just getting to know the team. And the conversation of jobs and where you've worked popped up, and obviously babysitting. Everybody was a babysitter or had done some time, and I said I actually never really. I looked after my cousin, but that was just out of favor, and really I hated doing babysitting. I just preferred to do something else. And one of my workers said, "But Tom, aren't we just glorified babysitters?" And it was that time I realized that our opinion and our views, our perception of our industry was different. And I had to make that change. But how do you change someone's perception of you or their opinion of you? Well, I'm going to tell you today, it's through relationships. So, how do you form a partnership? Or how do you form a reciprocal relationship? And I want to go through four components. And by the end of it, hopefully you can answer this yourself. One, be honest. Two, be present. Three, be proactive. And four, be positive. So going back to the top, being honest, what is that? Like, we're talking about our character and integrity. And I hold this so high. And I was taught to always think about your character and integrity because you want to walk away with your head lifted up high. But how does that work in a business, or how does it work in our services on a practical level? Well, my relationship with my principal, it's built on trust and honesty. And yeah, it's a little bit easy because she is a family, she uses the service, she is a parent of the service, but there is a lot of trust and honesty between us. We can talk to each other about a lot of things, and all professional. But when we ask for something, my yes is my yes and my no is my no. My mum taught me that. My yes is my yes. So when she comes to me and says, "Tom, can you do this?" and I say yes, it's going to happen. When she came to me and said, "Tom, we need to change where you sign the children in. I want you to go from here to here. Is that okay?" Well, it's a little bit inconvenient. We've set up a routine, but yeah, we can. Because I know where she's coming from. She would have a good reason. She's not asking me to be difficult. And in the end, it was because of pickup time and the confusion that was happening. So yeah, I understood, but I didn't need to know those reasons because I trusted her. And I know that she always had our best interest. But it goes both ways. You know, when they ask something from me, or they ask, say, "Can we split the hall one afternoon and you can work here?" No. And it might be, because of regulation, it might be because of philosophy, or whatever the reason is. They understand, the school understands, and the principal understands when I say no, it's no. And I'm not being difficult, I'm not being dishonest, I'm not just being, all about me or selfish or anything like that. I'm saying no for a good reason. And I can give them those reasons, and they understand and they respect those reasons. So I'm urging you is to build those relationships with the foundation of truth, honesty. So the next part will be present. So what does that mean? Is being out on the floor, being a role model. Because I know as a director, it can be very easy to be stuck in your office because the paperwork's always there to do. There's always something to do. But I urge you is that when you want your team and you want to build a relationship with your team, going out on the floor and supporting them is the best thing you can do. Is being a role model for those communications with children. It's supporting their needs, helping them with activities, not just saying, "Do this and do that." Something that I do, and I know that not everyone can, is I go to the school's front gate at 3 o'clock. Again, I know in large services, the sign-in time, that can be just an intense moment. You can have hundreds of children lining up, trying to mark them all in, and you want to make sure you have everybody. You want to make sure the roles are correct because you don't want to miss a child. I get it. But I have the luxury that I'm able to say within Ratio, I'm going to go to the front gate. And I go there and I don't even talk to people sometimes. I just go and be present. Because I know back there I've got some wonderful staff that know how to do the marking in. I'm not there every day. I'm sick. So they do that. So I'm able to go to the front gate and just talk to parents, especially the parents that don't attend the service. So I have a relationship with them, even if they don't attend my service. It's just being about being present, being seen. Don't be a stranger in your community. And the next point, the third point, being proactive. I know that I've fallen into a trap of not being proactive, and it's something that I need to work on is, not leaving things too late. For example, we had a worker and she had all the skill to be a 2IC. She was taking over the educational leader, she took over the program specifically, and that was going really well. But there were signs that she wasn't the leader that we needed her to be. So what did we do? What did I do? I let things go. I let it slide. She was late. Just make that time up. Come in earlier one day. Or they would not turn up for a shift and call me an hour late, and we would struggle to find somebody. There was a lot of signs. There was a lot of signs going forward that we needed a stronger leader, and we needed that person to be a role model for the rest of the team. But I ignored it. We ignored it up until the day where it was 2:30. They were meant to be in by then, and they didn't turn up. So I tried calling other staff. We couldn't fill the shift. We tried to call them. It didn't work. They weren't picking up their phone. So what did we do? We were short-staffed. And my director's hat went on, and I said, the safety of the children, the regulations, the this, and we're going to get in trouble. We managed it. We had a parent who's part of the committee come in. We had a teacher stay. The children were safe. But we were in a situation that meant that there was a chance we were out of Ratio. We were very fortunate we weren't. We had many away that day. And I don't know why, but it worked out for us. But still, I let things go and I wasn't proactive. And then I endangered my team and my staff. And that's the point. Be proactive. Don't let these things get too far. And this is also why we have days like, Are You Okay? Reach out to these relationships. Communicate to people that you may not have spoken to. Don't leave things. Be proactive. And finally, it's be positive. And I know it can be difficult to look at the glass half full, to always see the brighter side, to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But I urge you to just try. Be positive. I remember we all went through last year, COVID-19, the pandemic. It put a lot of strain on childcare. And there was a lot of times where we were just unsure of what was going to happen. And there was times in my service where our finances were crashing. We got to the point where we had no money. We got to the point where we took money out of the savings. Then we were looking at debt. And it wasn't until the AGM did we reflect on all of this, and we said, and one of the parents said, do you know what? Even though this was all happening, every day I went into the service and I asked Tom, how's it going? Is everything going all right? And he always was positive. He pointed out the grants we applied for. I pointed out the opportunities that were ahead for us. And this parent was comforted by my positive nature. So I urge you to be positive, because you don't know who's relying on that. You don't know who's watching you. You don't know who needs that positivity to get them through a difficult time. And because the question I ask my educators and staff, and I ask you, is where do you fit in our community? And across the board, one characteristic or one thing should be, you're a leader. We are all leaders in our community. There are always somebody that's looking to us for strength and support And that's just part of the job. So be that leader. Work on those relationships. Work on the people around you as individuals, not just groups, not just the school, the principal, the maintenance, the cleaner, the teachers. Work on those relationships. Moving forward, I want to talk more about those specific relationships with the principal and with the school, and we can focus on these more. But I want to thank you for giving me your time and listening.